A very good morning to you. How are you? Welcome to Natasha Makes. I'm Natasha. We're going to make stuff, so hence the name. But you know that. Actually, no, not all of you do know that because we've got new viewers all the time. So hello, welcome. Today I realised I completely forgot to put up on Facebook what we were going to do today. Completely my fault, sorry. So I'll tell you how the show came about. It was one of those things, chance conversations, really. You know, I love colour, my kids love colour, we all love colour. And I was talking to my friend Susie. I'm just trying to find you all on here. Oh, here we go. I was talking to my friend Susie and we were talking about rainbows, and she said, oh, what she finds really useful is her colour wheel. And this is her colour wheel that she had. I took a little photocopy of it. And you basically, you twizzle it around to find out what colours go with what. And because we had the conversation the other day about someone not knowing what a cool colour was and what a dark colour was, that's what the colour wheel shows you, is what colours work with what, and then you can get the ones. So then I went to find, I was like, hang on, this is brilliant. So I went to find ones that were applicable for sewists, and I found them. They arrive tomorrow. They're on the website to buy, but basically it gives you all of the tones as well, because that's the other thing that we need to start looking at, is does something work tonally? And if you're unsure or if you're worried in any way, then it's a great tool to have. And Susan made me laugh. She said, I generally like to use the colour wheel to prove I'm right. Okay. She said, or to prove when my husband's wearing the wrong colours, or when we're decorating the house and he wants to do all these colours. So it did make me laugh, because this is the surefire way to prove that you're right with colour. I was like, brilliant. So she said, but what about a colour wheel for your workroom? What about bringing a colour wheel into a cushion, into a wall hanging? And so, bless her, she went away and was like, oh, I'll make you some stuff. So we chose fabrics together, and I was like, you fill your boots, Susie. You show me what you can do with this. And these are what she's come up with. So that set us off thinking, this is actually, oh, hang on. I might even have a cushion to put in that somewhere. Oh yeah, I do. Hang on, I can stuff my cushion. Oh, I knew there was something I'd forgotten to do. We actually put the cushion cover in there. There we go. So. Oh, that's because, oh no, I've stitched through it. Aha, I can't put the cushion cover on because those tops that I'm just going to stitch through. I want it on the cushion cover. It's only been tacked down. There we go. Wee. There. We were just going to stitch it down this morning in a little bit of a rush, and I want to pop this in the cushion cover. I'll have to restitch it. Right, so what we've got on the show for you today are the colour wheel of 12 colours in fabric. So if you want to make one of these, and I will show you how in just a moment. Poor Susie went to all that effort to stitch it all down, and I've just ripped it apart. Hang on, there's one more little tack there. That's last minute show prep for you, isn't it? I've forgotten that she'd made it into a cushion. One more. And then I am, oh bless her, it was every bit she's tacked down for me. I'm like, no! If that falls off the front of the cushion, I'm really sorry. I'll be in so much trouble. But I just want you to see how gorgeous it's going to look. So you could do it as a wall hanging, or when I finish stuffing it, here we go. Here we go. Are you ready? We're going to have like the big reveal now, and it will drop off the front. Look how gorgeous that is. So they will be, when I have I've just untacked them all, but that will be on there. So I'm going to show you all the different ways to make all of these. Aren't they stunning? But what I wanted to show you is, out of your long quarter, your 12 long quarters, Susie made that, and had loads left over. Can you believe it? loads left over. So it's a very, very, let's pop that there for now. There we are. Very, very economical way of using your fabrics. We have a creative grid to help us with all of it. So I'll show you all the different ways. And let's say hello. Should we do our hellos, good mornings and all of that this morning? Gosh, lots of messages already. So good morning to Joanne and Catherine. Hello. And Zoe, good morning. And Pam, hello. And Kaz, good morning, good morning, good morning. And Juanita, good morning. And Debbie, hello. And Nikki and Dot and Fiona, good morning. And Tony, hello, hello, hello. And Heather, good morning. And Jane and Nikki and Ruth, hello. And Linda and Mary as well, and 6 others it says there. Haha. And Rona as well. She says, morning Natasha and lovely team. They are lovely. And they work jolly hard, I have to say. Jean and Joan, hello. And Dawn, good morning, good morning, good morning. And Jacqueline Dramby as well, good morning, good morning. Who is super stylish. What's really lovely for me is when I look on Facebook and she put up photos of herself in a scarf the other day, and she just looks so super stylish. And lots of you have been sending me photos, and I really, really love it. So I have a question, because if you've got a photo of you sporting your scarf, would you mind sending them, and would you be okay for us to load them onto our website? Are you happy if you send them to us? If you email them to info@natashamakes.com, are you happy for us to load them onto the website? Because we've got such a gallery, it's fabulous. Oh, Wemo's with us, and Steph and Severin, good morning, and Linda and Catherine. Emma says, looking pretty in pink. Well, thank you very much, it was clean. I'm not going to lie. That's the stakes that I'm at the minute. Well, Freddie's school want all of their items washed separately to everybody else's. The washing machine does not know what has hit it. 3 items of clothing on a hot wash. Brilliant. And Susan and Liz, good morning. And Anne and Nicola and Lynn, good morning. And Sally Ann, hello. And Gemma and Joy and Penny, hello, hello, hello. And Pat and Sharon, hello. And Linda and Jill and Susan and Helen as well. Oh, Helen, have you got your workroom sorted? Have you finished unpacking? Sean says, morning, lovelies. Ooh, lovely colours. They really are. They really are. Oh, Helen's already ordered. What do you like? Well, I would just like to say we'll avoid disappointment. And that's all good. Morning, Ginny. How are you? Oh, a gloriously pretty bitten weem this morning. Do you know what? The light is stunning out there this morning. Really beautiful. With the waters of the Firth of Forth sparkling and a breathtaking sky. So, Ginny, my question to you is, sorry, I just need, obviously we're going to do the Natasha Makes tour in the fun bus, but are there lots of nice places to stay in Pittenweem? Is it dog friendly, and are there nice dog walks? That's my question. Just because I really like the name of it and I need to come and investigate. I haven't been to Scotland enough. Naomi, good morning. Sunny, bright but chilly from Yorkshire. Which bit of Yorkshire are you, Naomi? Good morning, Francis. How are you? How are you? How are you? I'm really sorry I didn't manage to get everything loaded last night in time for you, but at least you got your elephants. And Agnes is watching, and Susan and June, good morning. And Jane, hello. Back to work in the office today. Ooh, as furlough's finished. Hey, do you know what? They might furlough you again. Oh, however, bought my iPad as I'm a lone worker, so I can still watch the show. Hey, look, there's always a way. Always a way, right? And Michelle's watching. Oh, she's scared to watch. Spent too much yesterday. Well, look. And good morning, everybody else. Oh, Anne's off to swim in a 32 degrees friend's pool while they still can. Gosh. So Naomi is determined not to buy anything. Oh, but then stuff jumped in your basket. These jumping fabrics, you've got to be careful. Got to be careful. Oh, Rachel's got son in Shropshire. Fabulous. Carol says, good morning, Natasha McCarthy. Love rainbows and bright colours. Well, look, here's the thing. Hang on, quick sip of tea before we get going. I love colour. I'm going to wear more colour. I need to wear more colour, I've decided. But I think the rest of the baby weight needs to go. I can't, how long can you keep calling it baby weight for when your baby's 2? I'm not quite sure. And yeah, then I will treat myself to a new wardrobe. But in the meantime, I don't want to rush these things because let's face it, this has taken me 4 years. No, that's a lie. It's taken me 4 years to think about. It took me a couple of hours this morning to whip it up. So this is the Jolly Wales quilt. It's part done. So all of my straight lines are done and it's super easy. If you've got a stripology grid, then you will be done and then just straight lines sewn. Even if I did snap a needle and do all sorts of, oh, the fun I've had this morning has been amazing. So these are only pinned on. They are all bonder webbed, but they're only pinned on this morning because I want to do my waves. That's the one I'm looking for. Underneath and then put the Wales on top. So I want to quilt my waves underneath and I'm going to quilt it in white. I'm going to be really, really brave because I want a little bit of lightness, but also I'm going to have brighter eyes. I'm going to do button eyes. So there's going to be a little bit of contrast there. And the other thing that I was thinking about, and I wanted your opinions guys on this because I've got this ruler from Creative Grids and am I brave enough? Bear in mind, okay, the backstory to the quilt, for those of you that missed it yesterday, this was actually, I don't know if I told the whole story yesterday. This was the very first quilt pattern I ever bought. When I was just starting to think that quilting might be a really nice thing to do. I did a show with Janet Clare. She's utterly lovely. And she really made me believe that I could. And she's like, this is a brilliant beginner's quilt because you just cut strips. Now I didn't have a stripology ruler or anything then, so even that was daunting because I didn't have any proper really nice rulers or anything. Now it's just like Rulerville here. So I was like, right, okay. But now obviously I've got all the gadgets and the gizmos. It was easy, really easy, and I don't know why it's taken me so long. But it's meant to be straight edged. Now obviously I've just pop this onto some wadding. And then Creative Grid sent me this and went, oh, we've got a new ruler for you. Ha ha, Geraldine, do you have this one? Geraldine's got all the rulers. And it is, let me show you it actually. It's a wavy ruler, but you can do convex and concave. Yes, yes, yes. So what you can do is pop it on there and it's got all the lines and everything on so that you'd go wee, spin it round and go the other way, spin it, wee, spin it. So I would end up with a beautiful wave. And again, along the top, wee, 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 all the way along. And you can also use it, what else have I done with it? Oh, I think I just threw my samples all over the floor. You can do like curvy strips and all sorts of, we'll do a proper show on this. This deserves a proper show because it does lots of things. Very exciting ruler. Let me show you actually in here what I mean, just in case my wee, wee, wee is not making a huge amount of sense to you. So the first thing that you can do is just cut all sorts of wavy strips and sew those together. You can do it as just a wavy strip through the middle of your work, which is fab, like that. But I'm not wanting to do that. I'm wanting to do it so that I cut that one way and then the other way so that I get a nice, well, yeah, basically my edge will be like that along the edge of my quilt. What do we think? What do we think? What's the general consensus? Oh, I should look at my phone, then I'll know when I... but it's a really lovely ruler to use. And actually, when you're sewing the curves together, they've got it at just the right angle that actually it's easy. You don't have to cut into lots of stuff and faff about. You can just sew it. So, Elizabeth says, good morning, Miss Pink. I had a neighbour called that. Sorry I'm late. I've been placing a vote for Dave's daughter in Hawaii. Top DJ. Ooh, ooh, got a top DJ. Very exciting. Morning, Natasha from Very Sunny Neath. Have we decided? Are we going or not? Sue says it's vibrant and dramatic. I think she means those colours. Now then, let's have a look. Anybody wiggling? Oh, it's pouring in North Cambridgeshire. Now then, let's have a look. Oh, Karen's laid up with her knee. Oh, after your knee op. Oh, I hope you're feeling better. Karen, was it you that was going into hospital on your own, isn't it, at the moment? Gosh. Oh, Leslie had a lovely surprise from her grandson and her son. Fab. I'm not sure if anybody's said, hang on, if we're waving or not. No, she's just back from the hairdresser. She doesn't care if we're waving or not. Yes, waves. Love it. We'll find out. Basically, the consensus is get better, Karen. I think is where we are. And that's all good. That we do wish you better. Now, the other thing is, of course, I can mark my waves on if I want to have uniform waves when I'm quilting. Yes. So lots of ways to use that ruler, but like I say, it really deserves its own show. So we will do that. And this isn't its show today. It's this ruler's show today. So this ruler's show today is the non-slip half 60 triangle, which is otherwise known as 30 degrees, let me tell you. But it can make all sorts of goodies. We're just touching on some of it today, making, a take on a Dresden plate, effectively, in a hexagon. So, as ever, we never throw these away. So if you just want to cut your triangles from your strips, we'll show you that in a minute. And then if you just wanted to do a border like that, you can. Then if you want to do half rectangular blocks, you can. If you want to do half 60 triangles, that's what we're doing today. And then you'd do 12 of those to then add them together, add, to do this. And this is what I'm going to show you today. But ultimately, also, you can sew them together differently and do something like that. So lots and lots and lots to show you. You can also use it to cut your trapezoids. If you needed a trapezoid in your life, there it is. And also to cut your half diamonds, you fold along there. Very clever, right? Very clever. And then cutting your half hexies, again, very, very all in one delightful little ruler. Now, I've got some good stock of this. I forgot to tell Ems this morning, if we run out, I can load more. It will be on a delayed dispatch, but I know that my supplier has plenty. They would be here by the end of the week. Hurrah! Talking about supplies. Yeah, it's that fun time again, isn't it? Everybody that placed their order for the hand sanitizer, the courier managed to courier it back to the person that sent it to me. Hooray! So instead of them being here yesterday, they went back. I love it when that happens. Fills me with absolute joy. So they will be another day or so. So apologies for that, but I've got all the boxes made and everything ready to post them out and looking good. So we're ready to go. Everything else is packed and ready to go. As soon as they arrive, whoosh, out the door they go. Right, let's have a look then, shall we, at these fabrics this morning. I've got a few Jolly Well kits left, by the way, if you wanted them. Just saying. Alrighty, now then. What is a long quarter? A long quarter is approximately 10 inches. It's 25 centimetres by the whole width of the fabric. So, as you can imagine, whee, there you go, you're 44 inches there. We had a good rummage, Susie and I, through the warehouse last night and decided what colours we wanted to come up with, what went with what. We wanted a mix of, go over there, pesky piece. We wanted a mix of plains and batiks to give a little bit of interest and a little bit of texture. And this is what we came up with. Now, you can do these, not do these, or just have this as a massive stash booster, because you get a long quarter of all of those colours and then half a metre of your white. And we went with like white, because then poof, it makes the colours pop. So that is your option. The ruler is very easy to use. Okay. What did I do with my fabrics? Let me use some fabrics from yesterday. Bear with me, caller. Bear with me. So you would. Oh, did you see all the other fabrics that we loaded, by the way? We managed to get hold of a whole load more. Different ones, actually. Not even all the colours that we had. So I've got this fabric, for those of you that didn't see it yesterday, this one with the stars, with this one's got gold around the edge, and then we had the blue with the silver metallic edge, and then I found a pinky one with a rose gold metallic edge. How did I miss that? Anyway, that's now up on the website, so do just take a look. Make sure that you didn't miss out on any of the other colours. So the first thing that you want to decide is how big you want everything to be. So, and cut your strips accordingly. So what have I got here? How wide is this? If I chop off the edges, then that's 9. So let's go 4.5 inch strips, shall we, on this. Just going to line Emily's bag with that. Tough luck, missus. Right, and then, oh, I might have get a few hearts out of this. Oh, I finished off Emily's cushion as well, her elephant cushion, so she's very pleased with that. She's currently on the sofa snuggling her cushion. All right, let's put these down to one side, and we'll go through these in just a minute. There. I'm not sure if I pop that there. Can you still see it? Pop it there. Oh, it's a juggling act. That cushion cover's quite heavy, actually. I'm reticent to put my cup of tea behind it, and yet that's clearly what it needs. Right, let's have a look at this mat then. Right, so when you get your ruler, I just had it. Ah, here it is. It's underneath the unopened one. First thing you are going to do is chop off the ends. So have them so that they are all nice and flush. So there we go. Got nice neat ends. Then flip it. Okay, now I've got 2 layers here. If you're comfortable with that, great. If not, don't worry. Just do a single layer. Here we go. So this is a 4.5 inch strip. So I layer up my 4.5 inch line there. My top is flush along there, and I cut like so. Ta-da! Then I spin my ruler around, and I line up that edge along there. I'm flush along there, and I'm going to cut like that. Ta-da! Now let me show you this, because you'll see the bottom of that looks like it's been cut off. In fact, I have had people when their rulers have arrived going, the ends, you know, split off. Like, no, 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 it's meant to be like that, because this will line everything up beautifully. So when I'm saying I'm lining it up flush along that bottom, my triangle will have that flat bottom. It'll all become clear, Okay, so you just then carry on Cutting all your bits and bobs all the way along. There we go. Now that gives you these, which you will then put right sides together and sew down and open up, and I'll show you that. So you can do those in different colours if you wanted. So I could do one side blue, one side of the white, and off I go. So I can do that. In fact, we may very well. The way in which these have been done is slightly different. So this is more of your traditional. And here we've started off with a larger, so a double-sized triangle, and then cut it back. Now, if you've got your 60-degree triangle ruler, you can just use that, or. The other way to do it is to fold your fabric, and then on the fold, have the line of your ruler along the fold, line everything else up, and cut. Now, what you then have is effectively a 60-degree triangle, but come with me to the machine. If we sew along that top line, and if we then come over to here, you might not be able to see now, I've moved everything, popped it in the wrong way, press it, spin it through so that it looks like the wonkiest witch's hat. So when you turn it through like that, what you will then do is roll your hem and press again. So I'll just do that and bring it back to you. Talk amongst yourselves. There we go. That's so. And then open it like this. We're going to do this a few times, so don't worry. Seam to one side. And then press. Let's get that. And what that then gives me is a lovely doubled up. So I can either go all the way round like that and create a beautiful shape. Let me show you. Where's the other one? Yeah, here we go. So it'll be like that, and this is a little bit smaller. Be like that. Then all the way around. So it'll give you that gorgeous shape there. Whee! So when Susie made this, what she's done is gone for two different sizes. So this is, I believe, a 5.5 inch strip that she's used, and then this is a 6 inch strip. So then when she's placed them, she's gone one over the top, and that's how she's gone for the double layer, but just starting with items like that. Now in the same way, and look, she's even pieced the back of it, all out of the same long quarters of fabric. It's a lot of fabric. So this one here is going to be exactly the same starting point. And look what this gives you. And you could do you could do these really big. You could do this so that this is the top of a floor cushion or something. But can you see here, you've got 3 folded layers. And I'm going to show you how in just a minute. But what that does is give you nice texture and some nice shadowing on there. I think it's fab. really fab. So we're looking at ways that we can have that constant reminder. That cushion cover is too big, isn't it, in there? Take it out again. It's distorting everything. There we go. It's a big 18-inch one, and this is not 18 inches. This is only 16 inches, and I've tried to ram an 18-inch cushion in there. Right, so you've got the option there to do larger ones behind, and you don't need to stop there because it's a multi-size ruler. What you could then do, so that if that's a 6-inch, then you could then come in between here and do a 7-inch and just build it up each time, going larger all the way around. I mean, it's really gorgeous. So the starting point for the inspiration for this was, of course, the colour wheel. So do grab your colour wheel if you just want to have that reference point in your own work when you're going, does this colour go with that? Does this colour go with that? So let's have a look. We've shown how to do these individual ones, how to cut those. Now let's show you how to do these ones because they're slightly different, but they make a lovely cushion or wall hanging because they're lovely and chunky. So let me find the correct bits and bobs. Here we go. So cut these as we just did that. Remember where it was folded on the fold, cut on the fold. So you can do it. There's your folded line there, and then you cut, which was how we got that. So bearing in mind, you can see the folds, and I've got a few here all ready to go. So this is the orange one, and the beauty when you're working with these, of working with the batiks and the plains, is that they don't really have a right or a wrong side. The batiks allegedly do, but it just pick a side that you like and go with that. So you've cut it on the fold. If you open it up, it's like that. But on that fold, you've got your folded line there, and then you've got your straight line along there. We're going to sew along that straight line, so just as we did just before, with a 1/4 of an inch seam. So we're just repeating. So when you've sewn it along there, just hold it a bit there, and then turn it through. So we've cut, we've snipped that end. That's just going to help give us a better point. We've turned it through. We've got a pokey tool, and we've given that a gentle nudge. So now what we're going to do is press it like that. So we're going to press that center seam in. And that was our fold line originally. Now we're going to press it so that we've got that as a reference point. Okay, then, and this isn't shown in the directions, so this is just another way of doing it. This is kind of an add-on to the ruler. I'll show exactly how to use a ruler just as is in a minute. And then just push the seam to one side, keep it along that center line like that, and then press. So now what we have is, oh hello, me standing on my foot pedal. So we've got a few of these now. What you're going to do is go right sides together and stitch directly down that center line. Okay. So like I say, this is a variation on, come off my, there we go, that's my centre point. And if you want to go forwards and back a little bit, then do. Line everything up. So stitch down that centre line. You can mark your centre line as well if you want. Then take it back over here and then flip one side across. So what you'll end up with is one side there and then 3 sides there, and this is where it gives you that lovely depth. So then the next thing we'll do is put the yellow and the orange right sides together and stitch down that center line. If you're unsure, then get yourself a marking tool and just draw down that middle line if you are in any way unsure, and then you've got that line. With my sewing machine, oh, I've just jammed it in there, excellent. Oh, it just went down the little hole. So I've got my little arrow on this foot to let me know where that middle point is. There we go. Off we go again. So probably best to start further in and then just reverse back to get that tip, or actually start from the other end. It's going through a lot of layers, that's fine. And then if you want to, just finger press or press across there. So then you see this will go right sides there, and then you'll stitch 1/4 of an inch seam, you'll stitch down there, and what you have then is the start of your colour wheel. What I would do is take it back to my pressing mat. Oh, we need to talk mister bottles in a minute. Give it a quick spritz and just press. Press that over. But seriously, how lovely does that look? So you go from having just 1 to 3 layers to 1 to 3, and so you get texture and depth as it goes. It's a really lovely way, and this was Susie's idea. I can't take any credit for it at all, but you just carry on all the way around there. Very, very clever. So you know, there they are all ready to go again, which is really fab. And again, all of this still, everything that I'm using here, all of these colours still out of that same long quarter set. So there's so much that you can do. Anything that we need to go. Oh, Pam loves it. Oh, waves. Oh, you were going waves. Now it's come through. Right, okay, so that's one way of working it. So you can either, as discussed, do it this way. That's one way. That's your second way. And then this is your third way. So this is just using the ruler as intended. And again, any size that you like. And the other thing to say is, of course, you can cut strips as well, so that you could have these in stripes. So if you wanted to do a 2-tier, Then you could have one colour halfway, second colour the next half up, and that's just by cutting your seam, sewing half and half and then cutting it. So it's so versatile, so versatile. So let's look at how we're going to do that. So again, we cut as we would using our ruler, decide what size strip you want, and then all you would do is, again, line up the top, so just like we did the other pieces, but not on the fold, and then just cut your piece. And this just, we've done like the most there we go. So like that and like that. We've done the most difficult bit of it. That's it. So there you go. You start to get all of these together. So we can do this with the rainbow. And what I would say is go round, here they are, and put your colours in order so that you sew them correctly together. And this is why working with planes is great, because if you've cut them the wrong way, it doesn't matter. Here we are. So you see I had to flip that one. And then that one. And then there. And this is why we did the plains and batiks. So, hang on. No. That will go there. Hang on. No. That needs, basically you need, they need to be like that. So that it's basically your triangle. No, how do I keep doing this? Oh. It needs to be, there we go. I'll get it right in a minute. You need to basically recreate that triangle. I'm trying to make it into, I'm doing it the wrong way around. There we go. This is why you lay it out, because it's really easy to bamboozle yourself. So this is going to be your straight line, but of course it's done in half. So when I'm looking at this block to do together, look, that's going to be my straight line along there. And then that will then sew onto there. So you sew two together, sew all of your twos together, and then you go round and sew them after that. But this is the thing, lay them out first. If we are planning for success, which we are, lay them out so that each one that we're going to sew looks like a triangle. Okay. And this is just about organisation. With any quilt, it's just about organisation. Getting yourself organised. If you've got a quilt wall, pop it up on a quilt wall. And also just making sure that these colours are going to be in the right order as you go round. So let's check. We've got 1/4 of an inch on. Cup of tea. Go. Fueled by tea this morning. And now we're going to go to the machine. Hooray! So this is my first one. Okay. So if I hold it up there, you've got your straight line along the top. Fold right side onto right side. If you want to pin, you can. And we are going to chain piece these. Okay. We're going to start from that long straight top. All right. Now then, here we go. And we will chain piece. Why do we chain piece? Because A, it's quicker, and B, it stops your fabric from being pushed into the machine because it's already got the tension up. As you come to the base, what you will find is that your stitch goes halfway through. What do I mean by that? When I come to the bottom here, my 1/4 of an inch will come to halfway. And this is the joy of these rulers, is that Rachel, who runs Creative Grids now, it's a family company, Sheila and her mum, is that she knows how to quilt. So it's quilters creating for quilters, which is fab. And I'll tell you this much, there's no way that I would ever have attempted anything like this without these rulers. Next one. And off we go. But just be careful how you move these round to your machine, because otherwise, I don't know, things flip, don't they? I'm always super cautious. And you're going to end up with a beautiful string of bunting, of rainbow bunting. But again, always sewing from this top corner here. And here we are, last one, and then we're going to talk pressing, a pressing matter. So when you get them, look how gorgeous they look. Beautiful. Let's take them onto the mat and cut. Haha. Okay, so snip, 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 snip. Now then, again, what I would do is layer them up. So I'm going to have my lighter one on the top, so the one that's going to be on the right hand side. So red's going to be on the top, then that one, then that one, and that one. So as you put them together to sew them effectively. Yeah. Okay. And then we're going to look at pressing. Okay. And I'm going to move this down a bit. Don't want to get rid of that. Woo! Now then, pressing. As soon as you cut through, your woven fabrics are like this. So the warp goes up and the weft goes left. So as soon as you cut on a triangle and you cut across there, because of the nature of how it's woven, you've cut across that grain. So it gives it more stretch, and we call cutting on the bias. Now the way to combat that stretch, because obviously you don't really want that stretch here, you do at other times, like with your bias binding when you go around corners and things like that, you want that stretch, but here we don't necessarily want it. So what we've got, and these are the bottles that I've got for you today. We've been waiting a long time for a version of these, and they're still in America, so I've managed to source, they're slightly smaller ones, but it's called a misting bottle. And this just makes your spray go so much further. Someone said, what's in it? And what I've put in mine is some Best Press spray. Now, the reason I went for this size bottle is because one bottle of Best Press, these smaller bottles here, fits absolutely perfectly into one of those. Okay. What is the difference? Let me find you one of my old bottles of Best Press that I have not put into anything, and let me get a piece of fabric to demonstrate with. So if I just trying to think the best way to, if I spray that onto there, and I'll prop this over to here so that you can see. Can you see it's just gone there? That's it. So if I spray it, that's where we get to. Now, And that's just any spray bottle with a pump action. That's what it does. But check this out. And I'll do it. Look at this. So look how fine this mist is. Can you see it? Let me put it up against the fabric so you can hopefully see what I'm talking about. Oh, I don't know if you can see it. There you go. So you can just see it's cutting across there. Oh, it's just gone all over my phone. That's no good, is it? Basically, the point that I'm trying to very badly make here is from one squeeze, the mist goes so much further, and it mists rather than just goes and just goes tiny. So you can see on there, that's how much comes out with just one little. But then when you mist, you get so much more in one trigger. Now, obviously, I did that directly onto there. But imagine when I come to do it here, as soon as I do this, that has sprayed all the way across there, rather than trying to just do that, which hit to there. This has gone all the way across there, which means I actually end up saving a huge amount because it's much finer and it goes much, much further. So then what it's doing is the Best Press spray is like, it acts like a starch, but without having that white powdery stuff. So it's putting texture back in to my fabrics so that where I've cut those cotton strands, they're not gonna have as much give. So it's just putting texture back in. And I'll do it with each of them. And again, I'm not even doing a full spritz on these at all. But what I am trying to do, the reason I layered up these fabrics, one on top of the other like this, is so that my seams are all going to go in the same way. See, a tiny little spray. And otherwise, I'd be doing 1 or 2 sprays with that one to try and cover it, and there would be a lot more going on it. So those of you that have got the misting bottles already, because they sell out just like that, you know how fab these are. But also, this is a slightly smaller one. I just can't get the bigger ones right now. But I kind of like the compact size, and the fact that I can now have lots of different fragrances, because they do a linen fresh. This is a new one actually that I'm using today. I hadn't had this until yesterday when they arrived, which is tea rose, which is beautiful, really lovely. They do a lavender, a linen fresh, and then if you don't want any scent at all, which my mum, she doesn't really like having a scent on anything, then you've got scent free. So if you're one of these people that scents sort of catch in the back of your throat. Oh, Inga, you absolute love. Thank you. She brought me a nice cup of tea. Thanks.
You're welcome.
This is why I love my team. They bring me tea. You say good morning to everyone. Hi. It's Inga, everyone. Inga will probably have cut a lot of your fabric for you.
Yeah.
You'll probably be cutting a lot of this as well. Did you find it? Long quarters of these. There's a pile in the warehouse.
Oh yes.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Yes, yes. I've had a bit of it.
We've done all today's, yesterday's and the day before's orders.
Oh, you're amazing. She's on it. She's on it. It's all cut, ready to go. Fab. Thank you. Amazing. We do take it in turns, by the way, to make tea. Awesome. In my mug. Everyone knows it's mine. How many cups of tea is too many? I don't know. So we've got those, and they are back in the correct colour order. Okay. I've got some of these bottles just by themselves if you want those, or if you want to have them so that you can empty, and I did empty an entire bottle directly into there, then I've got those, and there's £1 off if you buy the 2 together. There we go. So that is that, and actually, see, I don't know if I need another one to just put, maybe. Don't know if that would be greedy. Don't know if that'd be greedy. Can I convince myself that I need one for here and one for Hochanda? Do you know, actually, the other one that I've got, I ended up using for the dog, for her hairspray. That's bad, isn't it? Possibly should not be using this on the dog. Whoops. Not the best press, the Mr. bottle. Just like to clarify. Sarah Snaggy Fairbank Williams says, morning, sorry I'm late. I'm at work. Missed yesterday, but very busy at work. And Geraldine's just finished her first block and got to know her unpicker very well. Oh, Jane's demo was brilliant and I'm happy with it. Ooh, rulers. I'm skint after buying loads of Keef. Yeah, that happens too. Yeah. Right. Okay, so now that we've done them into pairs, like so, here you go, see? All in pairs, then we start to go around again. And this time, when we sew down this line here, our stitch is going to come off just there. Our stitch is going to come off just down there, right in that middle bit there, okay? And again, this is the beauty of creative grids. The other beauty is, if you don't want to start up there, you can flip it if you want, but just make sure that you're sewing the right bit to the right bit. Because, you know, that happens as well. You can nest them because of how you've put them together, and you can start from that end if you wish. If you wish. It's entirely up to you. You know either way is going to work. And then back over here, and then ha-ha, and the first one begins. There we go. So that's the first one. Then we get our green, pop it on there, and let's just take that to the sewing machine. So again, I would probably flip it and sew it that way, because then I know that I'm going with that 1/4 inch. You can nest the seam if you wish. And off we go. Just be aware, of course, you're going over a few little layers there. But you're only doing it, so I'm concentrating, 3 at a time. Okay, so when you come back to here, I'm always putting the one I've just freshly added on top and then pressing. And what you get then is all your seams going round in the right direction. And you've done half then. So then you'll sew the other half together. Let me quickly do that. So I can nest my seams, because we layered them all up, didn't we? It's just in the organisation. Layered them all up and we sewed around them with the same seam allowance all the way around. Okay. Helps if you actually put your foot down before you start. I've had one of those mornings, I'm not going to lie. It's just been, it started off, the very first thing I did was put my 1/4 inch foot on my machine, and then for some reason, and I don't know what possessed me to do it, why do you not, if I snagged it all up underneath. Yeah, so I put my 1/4 inch foot on, and then yeah, moved my stitch across to be a 1/4 inch, And of course, snap my needle. What was I thinking? Well, I wasn't thinking, was I? It was stupid o'clock in the morning. So yeah, that kind of set the tone. And then I saw my friend Susie, and she said, well, actually, do you know what? She's had days where she's kind of, where she's snapped 5 needles in a day. She said, just some days you just have those days. So at that point, I felt better. And I don't know if that's ever happened to any of you, but I did just have one of those mornings where I was like, what is going on? So we all have them. And if in doubt, just say it from the other side. It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Let's have a look. Which one would be the next one? It would be that one. So we want to keep this seam coming round. There it is. Always setting the seam first. Then this next one will go onto there, onto there, and again, nesting those seams if you can, if you've done it that. If not, don't worry. If you do start from this top, then you can either use a leader or just go forwards and back. Start a little bit further in. There's always a way. And then set your seam, then use the toe to flip it away. And then what you'll have is a top and a bottom bit. Flip one onto the other. Little bit of a lining there, that's all good. And then you sew your 1/4 inch along there. Pin it if you are unsure in any way. Yeah, so we're going over all of those middly bits, but there is less bulk because we press them all in the same direction. If you press them open or anything like that, you'll get a lot of bulk. But if you have done, it's not the end of the world, doesn't matter, just stick a button in the middle. Press, 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 press. And then open it out. Yeah. There we go. There. And you will have your very own colour wheel. Now, you can fold those edges under if you wish, and then press them and then hem them down. You can bonder web them on and then do your blanket stitch, that's the one. But you can just fold those seams over and press them and then just whip stitch it on if you want to hand sew it on or whatever. If your points don't quite meet in the middle, mine are pretty much there, then all you need to do is just stick a button in the middle. It's entirely up to you, but I'm quite chuffed with that. I think that looks lovely, lovely, lovely. So yeah, that is how to do that. But what if we want to go with some other colours? What is the other sort of thing that we could do? What if we wanted to have a little play with stripes? Hoo-hoo. So we'd cut them the exact same way and then pair them. So when you've cut your fabric, so this is in exactly the same way, you then pair the two together like this. It's still using the exact same ruler. So you've got your fabric where it's cut like that, and then you want to flip it over and we'll sew along that long side. I'm going to start at the largest end there and sew down, and I'm going to do that with these. I put all of these right sides together, and again chain piece like we just did with the other colours. Okay, now we could do this. Ooh, hang on. You know what we could do? How tall was this? I've just had another idea. This is the trouble with creative grids, Rachel. I'm blaming you for this. That was a 6.5 inch strip. Bear with me, because you know what I haven't shown you yet? And that is what would happen? What would happen if I'm going to take a 6.5 inch strip of this. This was meant to be my backing fabric, and I'm just going to use it in another way. Woohoo! Right. Well, this was not what I planned, so bear with me, but we've got time, right? It doesn't matter. This is the joy of these rulers. Once you've got them, you're just going to want to use them in every way they show you. So starting with a 6.5 inch strip there, like so. I'm going to double layer. Oh, hello, what's happened there? Don't know how I've managed to do that. We'll get rid of it. There we go. Then take off your end. Neaten those up. Flip it over. It's doubled up. That's absolutely fine. And then cut. And again, we're not having to be careful about how we, what sides we're cutting or anything like that, because this is just a plain. So cut your teeth on your planes. That, do you know what, might do it, because I doubled these up. So there. Now, I don't know, because obviously I've done these, but if we sew these together like that, like we've just sewn all the others, and then when they're sewn together, we keep that one on there and that one on there, and you start to get your spinning wheel. Now, obviously these would have to be cut. Yeah, so you're always taking your colour around there. That's really clever. I do really like that. But I think these might be the wrong way around now. Can we keep that coming around? I'm just playing. How gorgeous are these? Oh, this will be amazing. Then that one. Have I just run out of ones the right way around? Yes, I have. Look. So this spins beautifully. Chunk, chunk, chunk. And then, of course, I've got them cut to go the other way. So I guess I could do that, have it going half one way, half the other, because I wasn't going to do this, was I? So that's why I've got half, so they were going to pair. So you can see, so this is part of, if you're thinking, what is that woman doing? Let me show you what we've got the start on our mat of. This bit. So can you see? That's where you've got, that's your black side, that's your cape side. there in your triangle. So we're starting out like this. So you've got black one side, Kaif the other. Now instead of sewing them together like we've just done with all of the others, what we're doing is sewing that side with the join onto a long side there. Let's just simply do it. Let's just simply do it, and then I can show you. Oh, even if I just get half of it done, it would be a bit amazing. Are we stitching? Yep, we're stitching. See, this is where now you'll start to see how distracted I get and how wobbly my stitches go. And yet still, Creative Grids managed to pull it back for me and look good. It's a combination of having the right rulers, having a machine with 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, using things like your best press so that your fabric doesn't move around as much as it could. Now I haven't tried this pinwheel, it's the one I didn't quite get round to doing. So you're learning with me, but I'm always very pleased with Creative Grids instructions because they're always very, very clear. Let's simply give it a go, shall we? All right. So again, we're back to this position here. So pick which side you want to have up. So I'm going to have colour side up to then press my seams. All right. I'm going to give them all, look at that, with one thing, with one shoosh, I get to spritz it. Knock that seam back. There's one. Oh, doesn't that look amazing together? Now, I knew that I wanted, so originally my plan was that I was going to use the Kaif because the promenade stripe looks pretty awesome against the black. So I was going to make one of these and then back it onto the black, like we've backed the others onto the white. But then actually this looks a bit, I just had to try it. Okay. So this is the thing. We've now got these triangles here. So let's keep this. I know. So that's how it would normally go together, but instead we're going to have, I want to get it the right way round. Here we go. That colour going up there, that going there, then that going there. Use your instructions, and can you start to see we're getting a whole different feel. Now, I wonder, you'd then have to carry that on to get that lovely pinwheel look there, because look, these are sewn, these would be the wrong way. You can see the black would be on the wrong side. So when I put those together, it will be that, I mean, let's see what that looks like. But it's not going to be the pinwheel. The pinwheel will be if I had the same. I love Creative Grids, you know, because you can just play. Oh, so there you get a half pinwheel in the black, a half pinwheel in the Kaif. You can play. It gives you a different dynamic. But ultimately, what I want is to then have that cave carried on so that my pinwheel would go all the way around with that. But it's just a matter of playing. This wasn't part of the plan. It's just I couldn't quite resist. I mean, the other thing that you can do, of course, is sew these like this. That looks rather gorgeous too, doesn't it? All of these options when you start to play, basically. Which way around? That will go there with that there. Oh, I rather love that. Then that will go in there. Then this over here, that one will go in there. And that one will go there. Can you imagine that as a border around a quilt? Wouldn't that be amazing? And I was right, you know, the black against this, it just pops. I love it. Should we see what else we can do? Should we see? Should we see? Should we see? Oh, yeah, I will finish those. So many ideas. Hey, look, play. Play. This was from a 6-inch strip, and that was that. Now, I've forgotten what I planned to do now. Totally forgotten. Should we see? What have I got here? I'd obviously planned something. Something was going to happen over here. Should we press my bunting and see what happens? I obviously had a plan. My day this morning, I don't know about yours, obviously sewing side started off with a broken needle. And I'm not, oh, I think I was going to make this. Is that what I was going to do? Maybe. I'm not superstitious at all, but you know how sometimes your day just starts and then... So my day started with me glancing at my watch. I woke up and I just glanced at my watch. And I was like, oh, read it wrong. Read it completely wrong. I was an hour out. So my day... I do get up silly early on show days so that I can get time to prep the shows and it's all nice and quiet in my home. And if you're wondering what I'm doing, by the way, I'm just organising these so that they're all facing the same way. And then I'm just going to lay them out so that I can then just spritz them with one spritz. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, hello, HP. Yeah, so I got up at 2:30 rather than 3:30 this morning. Go me. What about you, Half Pint? How's your day been today? She's just joined us over there. You just see her little face. Has your day been good? Have you been a good cat today? HP's managed to get an allergic reaction to her flea treatment because she has a suppressed immune system anyway. So she's looking particularly mothy at the moment, aren't you, my love? But she's a very old cat. So, you know, I've got to give her like a tiddly portion of an antihistamine and try and get it down her neck. Have you ever tried that? Firstly, have you ever tried cutting up a very tiny antihistamine pill anyway, and then trying to then ram that down your cat's neck? It's not always the easiest thing that you've ever done in your life. Is it, HP? Hey? Not always the easiest. Here we go. So, okay. This was, could we maybe a blute somewhere else, please? Go on. Thank you. Right. This is obviously what I had planned to do, was to do some of this. So, what I seem to have here are almost the same and yet slightly different. So again, having a play with stripes. And this came about last night. Jane Alcock and I were just chatting about things you could do with this ruler and how incredibly versatile it was. Absolutely love it. But if I just hold that up for you there, whoo-hoo! How gorgeous is that? Now, if I hadn't have just sewn all of those onto the black, I could have brought in a completely different stripe and brought that in around there. But actually what I've got here is that mustard almost follows round, and it looks like I've been far cleverer than I have. Amazingly enough, right? So should we just sew those? Let's just do that, shall we? Let's just sew those together and see what happens. This wasn't quite what I planned, but sometimes, you know, you just got to go with it, haven't you? I think. Yeah. So basically, all of this has been done with one ruler. We've given you a twist on how to use the ruler. That isn't in the instructions, but you can always watch the show back. How do you watch the show back, I hear you say? You watch the show back by Facebook. It's always on Facebook or on our website, www.natashamakes.com, or on our YouTube. It's all there. So you can always find us. You know how you meant to do these into threes and then do them in half? Yeah, no, I haven't done that, have I? So I might have just made this really difficult for myself. Oh, well, that one hasn't sewn, so that's good. Have I come unravelled? Oh, well, clearly that was meant to be. There we go. That's all right. I can just add that on to another one. Let's unpick. So, yeah, paying attention also helps. Where is my unpicker? It's generally around here somewhere. Anyway, so basically, there we go. That is how that will look when it's sewn on. And the whole plan, apart from I've just cut into it with my ½ metre of black, was, so just pretend that my my ironing mat here, that was going to be that. So we've done it with rainbows, and now we've done it with stripes. And I rather love that. And so that is going to be a cushion that's going to go in my sitting room when I finish it. So although we went a little bit off point, I've still had fun. And thank you guys all very much for staying with me. Yeah, creative grids, right? They bring us fabulous, fabulous rulers. This was all done with the ½ triangle ruler. They are on the website. When we run out of the stock that we've got, I did check with Rachel and I can easily order more and get them by the end of the week. So that is all good. So do take a look, see what you fancy. If you want to get this dark promenade stripe, it's a K facet fabric, because it looks so amazing with the black. I've done it as a ½ metre heaven, where you get ½ metre of black and ½ metre of that, and that's all I've used. Everything that I've cut, and I've got, so you'd get ½ metre of that, ½ metre of your black. This is the promenade stripe, and actually this was the promenade stripe was the fabric that I did my very first smarf in, that everyone went, oh, that's rather lovely. So you can get ½ metre of that and ½ metre of the black for just £9.99. It's all on the website, so do take a little look. It's all there. These are brand new on the website as well, so take a look at those. Pop that in your basket if you've been waiting for one of those. We'll send those out. Remember, you get £1 off if you add it in with one of those. If you're buying the rainbows, go for it. They're long quarters, so that's about 25 centimetres or 10 inches by your 44-inch width of your fabric, and you also get full ½ metre of your white in there. yeah, next week, next Monday is Monday or Tuesday, I haven't decided which day yet. It's going to be Halloween. So we're going to do some gorgeous Halloween makes for you, because I think this year, oh, hello HP, back again. This year I think Halloween is going to be kept indoors. So let's decorate our houses so that, like we did at Easter, so that you can drive your kids past and people can see that you've decorated, and they can see all those things from there. So that's the plan. Have a wonderful rest of the week. We've got a lot of orders to fulfill, so that's what I'm going to go and do now. But yeah, take care. Know that the seams will be here at least by the end of the week once it gets recouriered, and we'll get all of those out to you. So don't worry if you haven't arrived yet. It was always on a delayed dispatch, those orders. And I think that is everything. Let me just check there's nothing that I've missed that's glaring here. It's always good to have white in the garden as it makes the other flowers pop. Good choice. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, with the white background, it's just beautiful, isn't it? And also the same with the black. Anne says, hi Natasha, received the next block of the month yesterday. Beautiful. Is the show next Wednesday? Yes. What date is that? Basically, it's the first. Well, it's the first Wednesday of every month. All right. Oh, Caroline said that her Stanley came yesterday, so she's getting on with that cutting tonight. Oh, good. I love it when you actually make the stuff that we do. And Susan needs to have a look and see what rulers she already has. It happens. Alrighty, and Susie's watching, Susie Duncan, so you can thank her for being the inspiration for all of these, and also for making those samples for me. I can't take the credit for that. That was Susie last night. She went, hey, you've got enough to do if you're going to make a quilt. I'll go home and do those. So massive thank you to Susie. You're going to be seeing more of Susie. She's got some ideas. We were bouncing ideas around yesterday. So you will actually get to meet her at some point as well, which is really, really lovely as the Makes team grows. So take care. Have a lovely rest of the week. And I will see you very soon. Bye-bye.